Hello, BookTube. I have a tag for you again on this Friday, and once again, it's a tag I'm drawing from Lukash's channel, A Cruel Reader's Thesis. He took a tag called My Favorite Things tag, and adapted it from a channel by Tori called Hufflepuff Discovery. I'll leave links to both their channels down below. And it's a personal tag. It's a tag of personal questions, like the 26 random questions tag that David Murphy just recently did. And I think these are important to do. It's important to remember that we're always gathering new viewers who maybe don't know a lot about us and who maybe aren't willing to go spelunking through our entire back catalog of videos, especially if the back catalog is as freakishly large as mine. They might just pick up details as they go along. It's important to introduce yourself. Question number one is, who is your favorite musician slash band? And my answer is all John Philip Sousa, all the time. Question number two is, what are your top favorite films? Top three. I could go on forever about favorite films, but my favorite film is The Lion in Winter, starring Peter O'Toole and Katharine Hepburn. Number two would probably be 12 Angry Men, the original film version with Henry Fonda. And number three would probably be Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Number three is, what is your favorite scent? And for me, this would be the scent of dog. All the permutations of the scent of dog, including quite a few permutations that might not be readily recognizable to you. Not just wet dog, but also happy dog, hot dog, exercised dog, excited dog, contented dog, and even very old dog. The slightly salt-infused scent of a very old dog. Frida and I met one of those on a walk earlier today. Wonderful, wonderful old creature that it was an honor to face smooch with him. Just an honor. Question number four is, what is your favorite Disney film? And here I just wailed because that's impossible. It's an impossible question. At the very least, I want to split my answer into before and after The Little Mermaid. Disney reinvented itself with The Little Mermaid to enormous success. Enormous. Hundreds of billions of dollars. And not just in terms of money, but in terms of quality as well. The movies, the modern Disney movies following Little Mermaid, include a number of the greatest movies that Disney has ever made. But I have to look at the previous incarnation of Disney as well. I can't just start with the Little Mermaid like so many 90s kids do. So for the modern era, the Little Mermaid and everything forward from there, I'm going to say Lilo and Stitch. Just in terms, if we're saying favorite, just in terms of rewatchability, certainly it's not the strongest in terms of its musical score. There are a number of different candidates for that. I would say The Hunchback of Notre Dame is actually a strong candidate. Little Mermaid is a very strong candidate. It's also Pocahontas is a very strong candidate. But in terms of just rewatchability as a wonderful movie, Lilo and Stitch would probably be it for me. There's only one really memorable musical number anywhere in the movie. And there is an odd element in the movie as well. And I've watched it a million times, and I've never quite been able to figure out what on earth the cutie patootie quasi-boyfriend is even doing in the movie. I don't even know what he's there for. But aside from that, I love it. So for the modern era, I would probably say Lilo and Stitch. For the classic Disney era, I would say Fantasia. Which if you haven't seen Fantasia and you've got one of those modern, newfangled 50-foot wide plasma screen TVs on your wall that you use to watch British Bake Off, maybe you ought to spend a little effort. I'm sure that Fantasia is streaming somewhere, and watch it on that big screen with your high quality speakers and the high quality video. God, if I could snap my fingers, I'd be there in the room to watch it with you. I haven't seen Fantasia in a theater in forever. Then question number five is, what is your favorite season? And this is a little bit of a tricky question in 2021, in the 21st century. Once upon a time, I would have said my favorite season was autumn, which in Boston was the season in which the heat of summer finally abates and the cool days of winter start to signal themselves. The season starts to change. Birds that migrate fly south in great flocks. The animals start to batten down for a harsh, long, cold season. And I think it's pretty clear that autumn doesn't exist anymore. The trees don't know it. The foliage doesn't know it. You can still go leaf peeping in New England. You can still notice the dramatic foliage. But I don't think as a felt reality that autumn exists anymore. And I certainly don't think it will ever return. Instead, I think that we are moving into, and certainly your grandchildren will only know, speaking only for the Northeast here, for Boston, your grandchildren will only know 2 seasons. One will be the height of summer, brutal, merciless, rain-free, roasting hot summer for 10 months out of the year. And the other season, the only other season on the calendar, will, I don't know what it'll be called, but it will be temporary relief. That's all. Just temporary relief. It won't actually be a change. It will just be temporary relief, where temporarily it's not 95 degrees when you wake up in the morning. Where temporarily there may be precipitation. Where temporarily you may not be in danger of wildfires. But only for those 2 months. And the other 10 months will be the heart of summer. That isn't quite the reality now, although Boston is right now in a year without, I mean, in a year that has pretty noticeably only 2 seasons. But if we use an old-timey answer, my old-timey answer would be autumn, from back when New England had 4 seasons. Then question number 6 is, what is your favorite seasonal drink? I don't understand a seasonal drink. I only drink 3 things. I drink water, I drink orange juice with no pulp, and I drink red wine. And that's all. I don't drink anything else at any time whatsoever. So I have water all day long. I have a metal thermos, a water bottle that I just love, absolutely love. I've mentioned this before on this channel. I got that thing. I fill it. I drain it several times a day, and I now know what all the health dudes talk about on YouTube on all their various videos. I discounted it completely because they're such frauds. They talk about healthy lifestyle, and the minute the camera's off, they're smoking. So they don't care about healthy lifestyle at all. They're just grifters. They care about scamming money off their young male followers. So I discounted all the talk about hydration and what it feels like to drink what seems to me to be an excessive amount of water in a given day. And then I tried it, and it really does. You do feel different. It's impossible for me to put it into words, but you feel much better. But I have water all day long. I have orange juice with breakfast. And I used to have wine every night, but I don't anymore. Now I have red wine only when I'm in the company of friends for special occasions. So I guess you could say that really I drink water with a little bit of orange juice. So, and I do that all the time. So I don't have any seasonal drink. Question number 7 is, do you have a favorite shirt or article of clothing? Well, it changes from moment to moment. Right now, it's these red gloves. They were made for me by a fellow booktuber, Sarah at the Bookish Knitter, made these, and they are great. They are long, first of all, so they don't, you're not constantly pulling them down. They go right down your wrist, and they've only got the one. They've got no folderol. They've only got the one thing, a hole for your thumb. No articulated finger slots. So there's virtually no way to wear this wrong. There's no way to put the wrong hand on the wrong hand. And because all you have to do is pull your thumb out of that hole in order to slide the whole thing down your wrist, it's very usable for many different. You can use it all the time. I have these on whenever it's the slightest bit cool. Then question number 8 is, who is your favorite author? I just did a video on my favorite author. That would be Ovid, the Roman poet Ovid. Then question number 9 is, do you have a favorite spot for reading or writing? And once upon a time, this would have been easy to answer. I have answered questions like this before by saying, sitting up in bed, propped up on 1,000 pillows. I have 1,000 pillows on my little pre-World War I bed in this tiny little book room. And I've often said, always, in response to questions like this in person or on YouTube, I've always said, that is my favorite place to do anything. To read, to write, to hang out with the bean, all that sort of stuff. Just find a little spot like that. But I also have a fainting couch, a little 2-person couch out in the other room. It's in a corner between 2 windows, and it's got my old footlocker, my old traveling companion footlocker, right next to it with a banker's lamp. And the footlocker naturally accumulates books, and it has all the work stuff and everything. It also has my work clipboard for journal entries or document storage or whatnot. I've always considered it, for a while there, I considered it a workstation only because that corner got awful cold. But not only does that corner, the heating is better in this version of Hyde Cottage, so that corner doesn't get prohibitively cold anymore, but also Boston doesn't get prohibitively cold anymore. the world changed to make. So that little corner is now a strong contender. I spent a lot of time on the fainting couch. Question number 10 is, what's your favorite food or dessert? My favorite food is the blessed potato, which was given to the island of Ireland by the Blessed Virgin Mary. And my favorite dessert is mega stuffed Oreos. Not normal Oreos, not double stuffed Oreos, but mega stuffed Oreos. I absolutely love them. I can't get enough of them. Question number 11 is, what's your favorite time of day? For me, this would be dawn. Even just a little bit before dawn, when the sky is starting to fill with light, but the sun hasn't even arrived yet. I love that. Sort of the obverse of Lukash's own answer to this. His own answer to this was the golden hour, the gloaming, when the sun has gone down, but the light is still filling the sky. Mine would be the obverse of that. For me, it's the beginning of the day, the very beginning of the day. I see the dawn every day and love it, absolutely love it. If I had a slightly less pampered dog, not that I'm criticizing the bean at all, but she is not a morning person, and she is very much a city girl. And if that weren't true, if she were a little bit more rough and ready, a little bit more happy-go-lucky, we'd be out at that hour. I would make a point of it. I'd make a point of being outside when that hour happens instead of just experiencing it inside. But it's good enough inside. Question number 12 is, what's your favorite color? Well, right now it's red. Bright red will be fine by me. Question number 13 is, who are your top favorite YouTube channels? I watch a lot of YouTube. Not just BookTube, but YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube. So narrowing things down is impossible. So instead, I thought I'd go with tech channels. I watch a lot of tech channels because I love tech. I love tech. I'm not buying any more tech in 2021, but I love tech. And I listed 3 here that are very basic. They're big channels. They're very, very popular. And they're popular for a reason. They're very, very good at what they do. First one is Apple Insider. I'll leave a link to them down below. The other one is Chrome Unboxed, a channel just about Chromebooks and living in the Chrome ecosystem. Is it possible to do that and not look back? And I can attest that it is. It is possible to do that. I may call myself jokingly an Apple fanboy, but I love my Chromebooks. Absolutely love them. They boot up right away. They are virus and malware free, and also it doesn't matter which Chromebook you're using because you're in Chrome. So if you have Chrome operating on 4 different Chromebooks, you're never going to be in a position where you settle back on your bed in your pile of pillows or on your fainting couch. You get all ready. Of course, if you're me, the minute you settle back, the dogs start piling all around you and making their homes on you to go to sleep for an hour or 2. Right now, I only have 1 little dog, but she still does that. And in ye olden days, I used to have 4, 5, even 6 beagles who would do that. Just they were waiting for me to sit back wherever I was so that they could stake out their claims to various parts on top of me. Doing that, having that happen, or God forbid, some of you, I hope you never experience this, when an 85-pound gassy basset hound does that, then it is well and properly done. Then you are not moving for a good long time. There's no shifting. There was no shifting my little hippo, my little Lucy. There was no shifting her once she got settled. In a situation like that, you sit back, all of a sudden you're comfortable, and you remember that the document you need is not on the computer with you. It's on some other computer. That doesn't happen with Chromebooks. And Chrome Unboxed is terrific. Their reviews and overviews are really good. And the last one I'll say is Goodreader, a channel devoted to various e-reading devices. That is just wonderful. If I ever did a second channel and devoted it to tech, it would be an e-reading channel, and very much along the lines of Goodreader. Question number 14 is, what's your favorite musical or play? My favorite play is probably Michael Frayn's play, Noises Off. Just in terms of sheer enjoyability, in terms of sheer rewatching, Noises Off is the only live-action play I can think of where I would go to it for a matinee and then stay and go see it again that evening and enjoy it just as much. I don't know. There was a movie version, so it is possible, I guess, for you to watch a version of Noises Off. But seeing it in the theater is the ultimate theater play about the theater. So I would strongly recommend that. And as for musical, it seems churlish here in answer to this question not to say The Sound of Music, since My Favorite Things is a nod directly at one of the million great songs in The Sound of Music. And I do love The Sound of Music, but for favorite, I'm probably going to go with 1776, a musical about the founding, about the Declaration of Independence. It doesn't sound like it'd be good, but it actually is quite good. Then question number 15 is, what's your favorite place you visited? For me, that would be the city of Boston, which I love so much that I actually made it my home. And question number 16 is, who do you tag? And I have a few people that I want to tag here with the stipulation that among their favorite things, they somehow, some way, have to mention me. The first one I'll mention is Criminali. I'll leave a link to all of these channels down below. Some of you will know Criminali from his Satanic Book Challenge. His Unholy Criminali book challenge, which is to read 100 books you own before you buy another book. Absolute satanic. And not to be confused with the Saintly Steve challenge, which is to buy 100 books before you read a book you own. I'll tag Criminali. I'll tag Daniel at Guilty Feet. I'll tag Shelley Swearingen, who also has a little schnauzer puppy. You'll see him. You'll see Harry in a lot of her videos. And the guys at Codex Cantina, in case they feel like doing this tag. I always like introductory tags like this, get to know you tags like this, provided you all understand the stipulation that one of your favorite things in some way has to be me. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up, but I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.